Alright, this is a 2002 Ford Focus. Dual overhead cam. Taking the washer jug out of here. A 10mm bolt there. I'm going to get a container to drain the coolant. I'm going to take this clamp off here with a pair of pliers, and we'll get going on that. A coolant container. So this coolant container is held on by a little plastic thing here. Probably get a screwdriver in here and tweak it a little bit and pull it up. So sorry about the camera was in the way trying to get a good shot, but that's what it's caught on right there. So I still did get a screwdriver in there and pry it out a little bit and then got it off. So actually possibly just lay this off to the side. So there we go. Just lay it off to the side, out of the way. I'm going to get down there and check it out here. And right down there's the tensioner for the serpentine belt, so we'll be going down below to loosen that. And again, this is the time if you need to take the water pump pulley off, there's 3 10mm bolts. Good time to loosen them now when the belt's got holds them in place. Kinda, sorta. If you need to, you can maybe pull the belt to tighten its grip and loosen the bolts before you take the belt off. There's a special tool for holding the 2 camshafts in place we'll be using. We'll be taking the valve cover gasket off here on this 2002 Ford Focus. So we have these 8mm bolts, or maybe 5/16 if that's what you got. I'll take these bolts loose, and maybe go ahead and take the timing cover bolts loose here too. A couple 8mm there on each side. Probably 4 total holding this upper cover off. And we'll just take a couple covers off while we're here. All of our bolts are loose, and it's kind of tight on there. We use a screwdriver and pried it up. timing cover is loose at the end. I didn't take it off. Just loosen, take all the bolts out. Valve covers off, and you can probably see, I honestly don't have it yet, but those slots on the end might be where the special tool goes to hold the camshaft gears in place for replacing the time belt. We'll see what we can do. So we've taken the tire off for 19mm bolts. Lug nuts, take those off. May consider taking some of this wheel well out. A couple of Phillips screws, Torx bit there, and the shield here. 10mm bolt. 1, 2, couple of them. So think about that. We'll take this cover off for sure right now. 2 10mm bolts. So we do have our 15mm wrench on the belt tensioner pulley there, so we just need to pull it to the left to loosen up the tension, and we can pull the belt off. Alright. See, the belt is loose. Crankshaft pulley is a 18mm bolt there. And if you don't have access to air tools, you can probably get a screwdriver right in there. See the flywheel teeth? Use a screwdriver and get in there and hold the engine in place with the flywheel teeth while you break the bolt loose. There's also a plug in there. You might be able to take that rubber plug out and stick something in there also to secure the engine while you break the bolt loose. Pulls right off. I hope that yours does the same. It should. And I'm just going to finish getting this serpentine belt out of the way. So because I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 8mm bolts for the lower cover. That, slightly annoying, but not enough for me to take it out yet. So just because I'm here and it's easy, I'm going to take these bolts out. Then we'll probably work on taking that idler off there. And I'm going to say I made a mistake thinking I didn't need to take the water pump pulley off. I probably do. So again, a warning, loosen up those bolts before you take the pulley belt off. That'll probably help. I'm going to use the large black channel locks likely, and be careful not to scratch up the surface. And so we'll take the water pump pulley off and the idler up there. So 10mm bolts, and say 13 or 14mm for the idler. I believe the car supported by, or engine is supported by a jack now. Forgot to videotape it, but we got 3 15mm bolts holding the mount in place, and then 2 18mm nuts on there. We got it loose down there. It's kind of a nice feature. I always forget about this for some reason because of my issue with my brain. memory. So we got the water pump pulley off. It came apart pretty easy. And we got easy access to the tensioner, or idler pulley, sorry. $13mm, so we'll get a wrench out and get that off. My needle oil nose in there and pop this little connector out of here. See, I'm kind of shake, rattling, and rolling this thing. It's not wanting to come out, so I'm really tempted to just take these two studs out because I don't really know how this is supposed to come out. Ooh. Without breaking stuff. You're free to give it a shot. So I got an E10 socket here. It's going to fit on here, and I'm going to take these two studs out. They didn't seem to be in there too tight. I don't know if there's a way you could use a vice grip or double nut it. But they're coming out. We're just going to keep doing this until they come out. So, just taking a look at the cover off, with the studs out, and you can see on here there's no markings on here. I decided not to go that route for some reason. You take a good look here and see how that is set, so you can try and put yours, and take a note on how yours is set up, so you can put it back together the same way. You have a couple 13mm bolts for this aluminum cover. One down there, and there's a Torx bolt down there too. And we'll be getting that stuff out so we can take this middle aluminum cover off. And with the jack underneath the engine, I'm able to manipulate the engine to a degree, up and down. So, got my T50 Torx bit. I'm going to go underneath it and get that last bolt out. Why they thought they needed to use a Torx bit, I have no idea.
Lefty loosey.
Righty tight. Pretty good advice. There we go. Got it out. What I might suggest is pull the plugs out. It makes the engine easy to turn over. There's going to be a special tool that's going to lock into these slots at the end. Maybe we'll show you that if we got it laying around here. Also, then you can put a screwdriver in the #1 cylinder here, and then crank the engine over. And when your screwdriver goes as high as possible, that's pretty much going to tell you you're at top dead center. Some people like to wiggle the engine back and forth and really dial it in there. But if you get it close to, get it up on top dead center where you think the screwdriver is, if your belt never jumped, of course, then these marks are going to be right where they need to be too. So we'll make sure we're set up, and then we'll make some marks on the timing belt and on the cams in the front here, just to help you out if you don't have the special tool. And I do notice down there, the keyway does seem to be straight up and down there. Another sign it's on top dead center for this vehicle.